Aries.
Hello Aries, this is your forecast for July 2015, and I'm certain that most of you enjoyed your month there in June, but here now in July we're going to see two full moons in your chart. One will be in the area of your career, and the second one in your social sector. So busy month. It is when we have these full moons, it's more a sign of accomplishment, what we have worked for. So expect some certain illumination now to take place here in your career, which will be here on July 1st, and the second full moon will be on the very last day, on the 31st of July, then in your social sector. However, though, the 11th house is also your hopes, your dreams, your affiliations with any groups or organizations. So you can come to see that this is really going to take off for you too. Now the new moon here in July will be in your 4th house for home, family, your roots, your foundation, who it is you are on the inside. And the new moon will also inspire you now to focus and dedicate a little bit more energy right here in the home. I'm feeling that anything new, for example, those of you thinking about moving or signing new leases, that kind of thing, would be excellent. It's also the time to put down your intentions, and your intention should be about family this month. And also recall, though, to write your abundance check to yourself here on this day, 15th of July. So last month it was all to and fro and busy for you. You were out and about. You were also probably spending more time with your siblings there in June. But here now, July, your main focus is going to be in the 4th house for home, family, where you live, how you live, and what it is you want to change up here. We have the sun. We got Mars here. Mars is going to be for a little bit. So it's going to give you time to either upgrade that kitchen you've always wanted, or to restructure, maybe upgrade here, but at least you have the energy with you to catch up with those domestic things. The sun here also, it is radiating this love, the need to nurture your family. The sun is in Cancer, and Cancerians will always nurture, and maybe you will feel more nurtured this month too, Aries, from your family members. We have Venus. Venus currently in the sign of Leo, so that has been very beautiful. You know how Leons really express themselves, and so you have had the chance to do so here in June. You have it with you here for a while until the 25th, and then Venus is going to retrograde. So you want to spend most time that you can now to indulge in that Venusian energy. And for you, Aries, it's in the 5th house of love. So wonderful placement for it. It's going to be a full year before you get this chance again to really come out and play. That's what July is all about. Now we have another planet too retrograding, which will be on the 26th, which is Uranus. Uranus currently for you is in that 1st house. So Aries, you've spent a lot of time now to the last 6 months to actually express this new you that you have been embodying and bringing out to the world. You have liberated a lot of energy, and so now Uranus is going to take a step back, which will allow you now to have some downtime to integrate and embed those new thoughts, feelings, actions, and so forth. Now, when we look at the top of the month, it's starting off with a kiss. This is Venus and Jupiter. They're conjunct, meaning they're traveling side by side in the skies. And Venus is love. It is also money, or those things that we value in life. And when Jupiter comes in with that kiss, well, it expands this whole area. What a beautiful day to get engaged or married, or find new love for those of you single. Those of you in a relationship, well, this should truly be a day that you want to circle on your calendar. Also here on the 1st, we have Sun and Neptune. The Sun is your essence. Neptune is your hopes and dreams, those things that you envision. And so here Neptune is wanting to bring in on this beautiful cosmic ray faith, reborn new faith, to trust yourself, to follow those dreams, those visions that you hold. And since it's also here with that Venus and Jupiter, well, this is a very, very blessed day. So make sure that July 1st is going to be a day you set off to share with your loved ones. That Neptune is coming from your 12th house, Aries, and so it's all those subconscious thoughts or those visions that you've been working with behind the scenes, which is now going to come forward, where you're feeling that it is time to bring this out to the world at large. On the 2nd, Mercury and Uranus is going to have a conversation. Mercury communicates. Uranus brings in that surprise element, the big OMGs. And maybe some of you that perhaps went in on a commitment here on the 1st, you're now ready to express this to people around you. So that Uranian aspect would be the OMG, that people will be surprised of what's taking place in your life. Or you can come to hear from others around you that are going to release some exciting news. On the 4th and 5th, Mercury is going to line up both with Jupiter and Venus. So we have this ongoing trend from the beginning of the month where there's just joy, all these heartfelt emotions and feelings, and they're both here in the 5th house for love and expansion, Venus and Jupiter. And Mercury's just wanting to communicate, to talk about it, share it. And you may also be the one supporting somebody around you that you care for that's going through very wonderful, beautiful times. And then, of course, we have to always factor in that Venus also rules money. So this could be great money aspects here just these first few days of July. How wonderful is that? On the 6th, we have the Sun opposing Pluto. So this is more like now breaking through, all right? It's you looking at some decisions that are needed to be taken. But these are decisions I feel that you want because it has this power of transformation. So with all this good news that has come in just recently, Pluto now can shift and transform your path of where you're heading, because there's some more good news coming in here, both on the 8th and the 10th. Mars first here on the 8th, which is trining Neptune. And Mars being in your 4th house has to do with your foundation in life, the security that you are now laying down. With that trine to Neptune, it's what you've been working for behind the scenes for a long time that's now coming in, empowering this foundation. There may be good news from family. It could also be you now empowering somebody in your family and being able to be supportive as you wish. On the 10th, Mercury still, we can see that Mercury is a big bearer of news here this month, is sextiling with that Neptune. So I'm feeling that since Mercury's in your 3rd house this month for communication, that's like a double whammy because it rules that 3rd house too. And it's really connecting with all of these planets now with good news. So on the 10th, I feel that you're now able to not just communicate this dream, but you're actually busy in fulfilling the dream, okay? So you might be on the phone, there might be a lot of emails, that kind of thing. Maybe even connecting with service people that you want to come in and arrange or fix or upgrade your home, all right? Since Mars is there, Mars is busy at wanting to revamp this whole area. You know, there's so many more aspects coming into these beautiful aspects with the moon, but the moon moves so quickly. Every 2 to 3 days it changes sign, and it's going to be hooking up to all of these planets, but I express more of that on the daily astro podcasts. Why? Because there would be way too many aspects and transits to go through every month if I should do that here. So listen up on the dailies just to get more insights of what the moon is doing. And why do we listen to the moon? Well, the moon rules our emotions. It's what we could call our mood sign. So when the moon is touching up on each and every one of these planets here throughout the month, well, it will give you a feel of where you're at. But let's continue. We do have, after this whole glorious cycle through the 10th, the first third of the month, we're going to have a little decision time coming in. This will be running through between the 13th and the 15th, Aries, and that is because here we have a situation, a choice situation, where the Sun and Uranus are going to meet up in a square. The Sun being in the 4th house, and Uranus being in your 1st house. Well, here's a decision. Do we go with this or do we go with that? All right, so Uranus wants to change things up. You might come with an idea, and then one or more of your family members might want to go in a different direction. Say, for example, this is just an example, say you want to paint the walls in a certain color, and they're coming with, well, why don't we go with this? So you're going to have to balance a little bit there. So just hold off a little bit, because on the 14th, Venus is coming in to square Saturn. So Venus are those things that you love. Here's Saturn with rings and boundaries. So we're still working at making a decision where everybody can be happy. Now this Venus for you is in the 5th house, so you have all this joy and happiness and expression. For example, you would like to take a very Uranian color, which is kind of like off the palette, because that's how you're expressing your inner joy and your transformation. And then Saturn, which might be those who are not undergoing these incredible inner changes that you're having, they might want to have a little bit more subdued colors. So this is just an example. You can transfer this over to anything else, but you get the gist, right? So nothing is apparently going to be concluded here yet, because on the 15th, Mars, which is in that area of home, is going to be opposing Pluto. So Pluto has to do not only with your career house, which is that 10th house where Pluto currently is. I'll speak about that and what it can do to your career. But since we're talking about the home theme, this is Mars opposing this Pluto. And the 10th house is also your ambitions, your goals, what it is you want to achieve. And since Pluto is there in your midheaven, that's all about your transformation. So I can understand there might be a little frustration. Uranus wants to break free from the old and show these new colors, right? And so here with Mars, you might just feel a little frustrated today, all right? So 13th through 15th, that's okay. If you don't have to make any choices quite yet, hang in there. You're going to find common grounds easier here on the 21st. So we have a whole week there. But as far as career, since it's also evoking your career house, this might be a day on the 15th where perhaps that the coworkers, or there could be some interaction with a supervisor, somebody higher up, perhaps laying some more burdens on you, and you're feeling a little stretched, perhaps, especially because you have so much going on the opposite end, which is the home. So you might just feel a little stretch there between home events and work events. So just be sure that you don't overwork. That is definitely what this aspect can indicate too. On the 21st though, here, Aries, we have Mars now, the 21st we have the Sun training up on that Saturn. So where Saturn was a little frustrated last week, we're going to feel now that you're good. You found common grounds. Saturn is in your 8th house with partnership, as far as shared resources, money situation, how you're putting aside or investing, or it could be commissions and royalties too. This day is a day where I feel that whatever the situation may be and where the money is going, it's going to feel locked in, it's going to feel calm, so this is great. Now at the very end of the month, here we have Mars and Uranus. So again, decisions between finding common grounds between you, family members again, because remember that is where Mars is. So, but I feel that you have established pretty much throughout the month, with all this joy, all this newness coming in here in the first third of the month, is giving you a sound grounding. But of course, on the daily podcast, we will see what other aspects are being triggered by the moon, which is your reactional, inner, emotional self, to see how you're going to get through these last couple of weeks. So tune in to them. Then, of course, end of the month, the very last day, we have that second full moon. And as mentioned, it's going to be in your 11th house. So you might have now a sense and a feel that you can release some of the energy that you've taken out, and now is the time to shine upon your friends, get together, be social here at the very last day of July. So this is what we have for you here, Aries, in this round, and I'll see you next month. But listen to your moon and your rising sign to see where all of these glorious aspects are going to fall into those areas. Bye now.